I'm here with Charles Ironside in Moss Vale.
It is.
Thanks for inviting us into your home.
That's a pleasure, Carol.
I love your cute little Westie dog Hamish over there. Very sweet.
Yes, sucking up to cat.
Yes. Yeah, he's a gorgeous thing. But we're here to talk about solar. And
Not dogs?
No.
Oh, okay.
Solar today.
All
but
right.
I love your dog.
He's great.
The reason I wanted to talk to you is because you've had such a great result as far as reduction in consumption, offsetting your bill.
Yes.
You originally came along to our event in Vale, our solar and battery storage event.
Yes.
That we held at the Vale Bowling Club. What did you get from that presentation? What was your take-home message?
Look, a huge amount of things, and this is going to sound like it's sucking up to you, but in fact, we went there probably a little bit sceptical about what we might get from your presentation because we knew nothing about you. It was just, we were interested in solar and we thought, well, we might learn some stuff. But we came away from that and basically went straight into saying, Caro, do us a plan, get us someone and we'll do it because the depth of knowledge that you had of the products and of solar energy was actually quite immense, and it tacked on to the bits that we knew in a way that we said, this is not just sales, this actually is the truth and this works. And therefore we left, and my wife was actually really impressed from that because she didn't want to go along to it. And at the end of it I had to drag her away because she was so interested in what you were saying about it. And that put us onto solar, where we said, look, this fits all our things, this is what we've got to do. And
I think you got the take-home message, which was all about buying good quality components.
Yes, absolutely.
And you did that. You've gone for top-of-the-range panels, yes. LG Neon 2 panels,
yes.
And Solar Edge inverter
yes.
technology.
Yes.
So even though you don't have any shade, you opted for that technology, and I assume that's because you like to be able to see the performance of each of your panels?
Look, it is, and I joke around the house because when I was overseas last week, and I could see what the panel was doing. And I could see when my wife got up and put the kettle on in the morning. I suddenly got a 2 kilowatt spike. I thought, oh, good, she's up, I can call.
Darling,
yes.
You're using too much power.
Well, look, it was in one sense because one of the things it did for us, we started putting the dishwasher and the washing machine on at particular times during the day when we could see we were generating enough power at that point that we were essentially running them for nothing. Whereas what we used to do was to put them on at night when we went to bed, so they're all done in the morning, clothes go out, etc.
Yeah.
It's changed our habits completely, and that came through the Solar Edge bit where you could look on it and say, well, we're generating enough power, put them on, run it for nothing.
And you're generating way more power than you're actually consuming, right?
Absolutely.
So I've seen the graphs on your phone, and there's this huge arc in terms of solar production.
Yep.
And you're not particularly high users of power.
No, very
little.
little.
What was your motivation to install solar? Was it primarily economic, or was there another reason for you?
No, economic. As I said to you earlier, being a Scot, I don't mind an economic benefit. It's really good. It's another dram of whiskey in the bottle. But the primary reason for us was that we are a family through our daughters who have become more aware of the environment and looking after it. We've got family who are vegans and involved with Sea Shepherd and various things across the community. And that's where our interest in solar started, which then, with the information you gave us, convinced us that by getting solar panels of that quality was something that would give us the opportunity to contribute in a positive way to the environment over an extended period of time. So that was great. Economic benefit, yes, great, because we're saving a lot of money, but primarily the environment.
Yeah, and you're pumping a lot of green power back into the grid each and every day.
We are, yes. As I showed you, in the height of summer, we're producing anything up to about 45 kilowatts, and of that, some days we're actually putting 40 kilowatts into the grid.
Wow. I mean, that's huge. You've installed a 5.94 kilowatt system, and you would expect on a bright sunny day with conventional panels you might get, I would say, 25 kilowatt hours on a beautiful clear sunny day, and you're getting up to 40.
More than that. We've had close to 45 on a really hot summer day, I think in January. That's when we really peaked, December, January. But 40, as I showed you, even this month, we've hit it, I think, on 3 or 4 days easily.
We've talked to other clients in the Highlands, and I think there's a myth that solar panels don't work in this climate because often a day like today, the light is not super bright. It can be a bit low light. But the reality is that you can still get a really high performance system in this climate.
It can. Well, it's mid-morning here. As you say, cloudy day. We've already produced nearly 10 kilowatts today, and we'll have used very little of that. So today will be a day I think we'll produce about 20 kilowatts. We'll use maybe 3 or 4 of that. So cloudy day, still putting 16 out to the grid.
Wow.
Now, in part, that's because we've got the north and west facing panels, which we did quite deliberately, so that we can extend the gathering period for the day. So in the height of summer, we're generating power here from 5:30 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night.
That's huge.
Yes.
Okay. And you made a deliberate decision to get what's called a hybrid inverter.
Yes, we
which
did.
is a solar and battery inverter in one.
Yes.
Why did you do that?
Future-proofing, in a word. We're talking 18 months ago now. At that point, we didn't know whether we would want to convert to electric heating in the evening to transfer the solar power to the night from the day. And we wanted to be able to make that decision when the economic value of a battery became better, and the longevity of batteries became better. So that was point one. Point two was we were actually considering, and we're still considering, what to do in our remaining years with car. Do we convert to an electric car?
All right.
And if we do, if we've got a battery, we put a power point in the garage, we plug it into there, and in the morning we have a fully charged car again.
Got it.
Again, environmental benefit of something like that.
But your bills are typically in credit. You're not actually having to pay anything each quarter. So the economic viability of a battery may not be there for you right now until the cost comes down a bit more. Is that right?
That's right, yes. Since we put the system in, I have not had a debit bill. Every single bill has been in credit, even in the quarter when my family came down from Queensland and banged up our electricity use in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
The bill for that month was still in credit. And at the moment, we're $200 in credit for this year.
All up.
Yes, having come down from a bill of $1,200 for an annual 2 years ago.
Fabulous. You're saving a lot of money.
Saving a lot of money.
And you're making a great
And I love
environment.
it.
And you're making a great environmental contribution.
It is, yes.
And the inner Scot or the outer Scot is loving the money savings.
Oh, both
as well.
of them.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for spending some time with us today. It's been great to hear about your experience.
Delighted to help out, Carol.